After some time, Jesus again returned to Capernaum. People heard that he was at home. So many were gathered with the result that there was no longer room for them, not even around the door. Then he spoke the word to them. Some people came, bringing to him a paralytic carried by 4 men. When they could not get near him because of the crowd, they removed the roof above him. When they had made an opening, they let down the stretcher on which the paralytic lay. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "My son, your sins are forgiven." Now some of the scribes were sitting there, questioning in their hearts, "Why does he say this? It is blasphemy. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Jesus immediately perceived in his spirit that they had questioned within themselves, and said to them, "Why do you question this in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise, take up your stretcher and walk'? But in order that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." He said to the paralytic, "I say to you, rise, take up your stretcher and go home." The man got up immediately and took up the stretcher and went out before them all. They were all amazed and glorified God, saying, "We never saw anything like this." Again, Jesus went out beside the sea, and all the crowd gathered about him. Then he taught them. As he went, he saw Levi the son of Alphaeus sitting at the tax office, and he said to him, "Follow me." So, he rose and followed him. As he was sitting in his house, many tax collectors and sinners were sitting with Jesus and his disciples, because there were many who followed him. The scribes of the Pharisees, seeing that he was eating with sinners and tax collectors, said to his disciples, "Why does he eat with tax collectors and sinners?" When Jesus heard it, he said to them, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. In this way I came not to call the righteous, but sinners." Now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. So people came and said to him, "Why do John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast?" Jesus said to them, "Can the wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. The days will come, when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast in that day. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. If he does, the patch tears away from it, the new from the old, and a worse tear is made. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the wine will burst the skins, and the wine is lost, and so are the skins. New wine is for fresh skins." One Sabbath he was going through the grain fields, and as they made their way his disciples began to pluck heads of grain. The Pharisees said to him, "Look, why are they doing what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" He said to them, "Have you never read what David and those with him did, when he was in need and was hungry? He entered the house of God, when Abiathar was high priest, and ate the bread of the presence, which it is not lawful for any but the priests to eat. He also gave it to those who were with him. He said to them, The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is also Lord of the Sabbath."